Yo, what's going on, guys? And can we give a round of applause to the Clippers? I think the Clippers are an underrated franchise right now. First off, Ty Lue's a top 5 NBA coach. You can fight me any day of the week on that. I will fight you to the death over Ty Lue being a top 5 head coach. This guy is one of the best at adjustments. I think only arguably Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra might be better at adjustments, but I think Ty Lue is up there with Steve Kerr as the two best coaches in the NBA, arguably. I mean, Nick Nurse is up there too. There's a lot of guys, top five. But not only do they have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, okay? They re-signed Zubac, okay? And guess what? They brought back players. They did so many moves. First off, Nicolas Batum returns on a 2-year, $22 million deal. They bring back Amir Coffey, a guy they developed, in a 3-year, $11 million deal. Cherry on top, John Wall, baby. John Wall. How good is that? I love it. John Wall on this team blows my mind. Okay? And they still have young guys on this roster with Jason Preston, BJ Boston, Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, all young guys. And then they have Zubac, who they re-signed on a multi-year deal, which he deserved. He's their starting center. They still have Robert Covington. Also, I assume that they're going to, start going small now with Marcus Morris being maybe the backup center and power forward too, with Robert Covington backing up Kawhi and Paul George. And you also have John Wall running the show with Reggie Jackson maybe taking on the sixth man. I know Luke Kennard's been embroiled in headlines. Then you have Norman Powell. People are forgetting all about Norman Powell. Okay? And obviously there's Blake Griffin rumors that he's going to go back to LA without specifying which, but it's probably the Lakers, not the Clippers. But I think the idea of bringing back Batum, who's been phenomenal for you guys, was smart. Bringing back Amir Coffey was smart. Because now not only the starting lineup of John Wall, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, I assume Norman Powell at shooting guard, Paul George at small forward, Kawhi at power forward, and Zubac at center. Then you have Morris, Kennard if you keep him, Covington, Jackson, Coffey, Batum, Terrence Mann. Also, you could start Terrence Mann if you wanted. Jason Preston, BJ Boston, Amir Coffey, all there for the ripening for them. And I think these are just moves that I think are honestly being undervalued. And just I've prefaced this in my last couple of videos. I've liked this continuity trait with these good teams that I expect to have a good season next year. Are these teams that are just continuing to build. Also, they have Moussa Diabate, who could be their backup center. My apology for not mentioning him earlier. But Moussa Diabate, this guy, he's a freak. He could actually come in day one and be, having a good, decent role for this team, in my opinion. And I'm actually very much excited for this team. I like what they did. I like what the Clippers roster is turning out to be, multi-dimensional, multiple players. And for me, you look at it and you think, okay, this is starting to come together. It's starting to come together. And I think for me, I like it. I very much like what we're seeing. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys like? I know the Los Angeles Clippers might not be your favorite team or anything like that, but I think it's interesting as all hell of what they're doing. It's just because they created Spaceball. Like someone could argue that this is the team that's invented Spaceball, and they're the reason why teams like the Mavericks and the Warriors started to go super small, because they can take out Zubac or Moussa Diabate and run Morris at center, Kawhi at power forward, George at small forward, Powell at shooting guard, and either Jackson or Wall at point, or they even go Robert Covington at center, who's shown he can be a small ball 5, and still have that same exact lineup. And then they have Terrence Mann as well, Terrence Mann people are forgetting about. Like, Terrence Mann is a dog. Like, Terrence Mann is really, really good in my opinion, and I feel like he's just underrated as all hell. But I do just think John Wall, Ty Lue, if there's any coach out there, John Wall is going to be brought back perfectly by Ty Lue. And John Wall's a guy who averaged wasn't it like 21 points? I know he shot 30% from 3, but John Wall last year in the Rockets he averaged 21 points a game, almost 4 rebounds, 7 assists a night, 1 steal, and almost a block a game. He's still a dog. He's still a good player. I feel like people are just, over like acting like he's dead. And I think it's more insulting than anything because this is a great player. And for me, I love the fact that John Wall is coming here. I'm a big John Wall fan, if you guys don't know, Wizards fan. So John Wall did a lot of great things. And I was hoping he'd come back home. But obviously that didn't happen. And I'm fine with it. Why? Because he's going to a better place. He's going to have a chance to win. And that's all I want. I want him to be able to win. And I think that's kind of like the most important thing for me is just seeing that he gets a shot to win, okay? And I just feel like he hasn't gotten that a fair chance. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. I like what